Did you know that the heart rate of an elephant is anything between 25 and 35 beats per minute? The biggest land mammal in the world. On the other hand, one of the smallest birds in the world is the hummingbird. Its heart rate is 1200 beats per minute. But what's the difference between the two? Well, the hummingbird lives only 3 to 5 years, whereas an elephant lives 60 to 70 years, similar to a human being. Typically, a human being should have a heart rate of approximately 70 to 80 beats per minute. But it doesn't always happen this way. And this was exactly the case for one of my clients who came to me to help reverse his type 2 diabetes a number of years ago. His resting heart rate when he got out of bed, in fact, when he was still lying in bed, was 125 beats per minute. And when he walked around the room, it was about 140. Truth be told, he was on the way out. In this episode of the Haroon Rabbani podcast, I am going to share with you the single most powerful technique that my client used to help reduce his heart rate to a more sustainable one that will support his life as well as his mental and physical health.
My name is Haroon Rabbani, and I have been helping people who are courageous, ambitious, who want to take a leadership role within their lives and within their teams. I've been helping them to step into their greatness for the last 20 years. But one of the things I've been doing very, very deep with my clients is taking them to retreats, 3-day retreats, 1-week retreat, to truly go into understanding who they really are, why they really are, and what they really stand for. And one of the most essential elements that I have to say I see a lot of people struggle with is how they're breathing. If you don't breathe, guess what? You're in your grave, right? Or you haven't been born. So my one client that I had, rather than work with him directly, I took one of the best experts to work with him. Her name is Nelia Freitas. She is a breathwork specialist, but she's also a yoga therapist, a nutritional therapist, and an all-round amazing holistic therapist and healer. And so here's the technique she used. Let me explain. When most people breathe in, what they do is they breathe in, they breathe out, and they hold with nothing in. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in oxygen and everything else that goes with it. You're breathing out mainly carbon dioxide. And when you're holding, there's an accumulation of carbon dioxide as well. However, most people breathe in as if they're on the borderline of panic attack. What do I mean? It's very shallow breathing. Just think about the people who are having a panic attack, an anxiety attack. They're really breathing really, really fast. There's no calmness about them. As a consequence of them wanting to take more control of their breathing, they end up losing control. When you're in a state of anxiety or panic, you are going to make poor decisions. You are going to operate from fight or flight mode. When you're operating from fight or flight mode, then the decisions always end up being bad ones. Here's an example. Imagine a couple coming together and they're having a bit of an argument, and one of them says, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go out and hang out with my mates. That might not be the best thing to do, or it may be, but very often people break their relationships in those situations. So breathing is all about your relationship with your own body, with your own mind, with your own spirit. Breathing in for 2, out for 3, holding for 1 is the norm, which is the borderline of anxiety. So in order to change that, this is what Nelia did with our client. She got him initially to practice a very simple, easy exercise, breathing in for 4 and out for 4. That was a big jump for him, just breathing in and out. He practiced that for a week or so. When you breathe in, you activate your sympathetic nervous system, which has got nothing to do with sympathy. It's to do with activation energy. So that's your nervous system, which is activated when you're on your go, go, go. When you're breathing out, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, the relaxation, the rejuvenation, the rebuilding of your cells, the healing mode system. So initially, this is very simple yogic breath, in for 4, out for 4. And then once he got the knack of that, once he got used to that, the next technique was this. It's called ratio breathing. And so instead of breathing in for 2, she got him to breathe in for a count of 4. It's a very slow, deliberate exercise. You don't breathe in like that and hold for 4. Nope. You breathe in through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you then breathe out. But when you're breathing out for a count of 6. So gently, easily through your nose, you're breathing out for a count of 6. And then you hold for a count of 2. Now, the reason you're breathing out in this kind of ratio is it's the normal ratio that we breathe in. But when you breathe out for a count of 6, it allows you to have a more calming effect, more healing effect on your nervous system and on your body. It really is very much a grounding exercise. And then when you hold for 2, you're teaching your body to handle higher amounts of carbon dioxide. If you've got excessive carbon dioxide, you end up panicking. Imagine a person going through a panic attack, they've got an excess buildup of carbon dioxide. Consequently, they make it worse by not breathing in enough oxygen and giving themselves enough time to get rid of the carbon dioxide. So holding that for 2, your system, your brain starts adapting to handling the high amount of carbon dioxide. So she got him to practice that, breathing in for 4, out for 6, hold for 2. And then after a week or 10 days later, she got him to increase it. And then the next level is breathing in for 6 through the nose, slowly and deliberately, out for 9, slowly and deliberately, holding for 3. By practicing that for several weeks, our client moved from 125 beats a minute, resting heart rate, to 73 beats a minute. How amazing is that? And in fact, when he continued his practice, he brought it below 70. Below 70 is a healthy heart rate. If you're an athlete, you are looking to bring it down below 60. But he's not an athlete, he's someone approximately my age, in his 50s, slightly older than me. But here's the thing, this is not the first time. It's happened many, many times before. One of our clients who came for work with the diabetes, again, I sent her off to Nelia. She had a high resting heart rate, but she also had an asthma, a condition that made her rely on steroid inhalers for the last 20 years. And she had to practice a few more weeks. And by the time she finished, I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you, by the way, this is just our experience and her experience. After several weeks of practice, she could come off the inhalers altogether. But please keep this in mind. If you're on medication, always check with your doctor first before you come on or off any kind of medication. None of this is medical advice. So if you are interested in learning more about our retreats, make sure you DM me, send me a message through one of the social media platforms, particularly Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, or even TikTok, and we will tell you more about how you can transcend, not just transform your current paradigm to the next level. If all of this resonated with you, make sure you share this video with somebody who you feel may get value from watching this video. Bye for now.